Facebook world. It is almost that time, which is a bittersweet time for me this go round because, as you guys know, we have been doing a week of phenomenal female entrepreneurs, and we're coming to the end of that. And so far, we've had so much fun. So I'm just going to give Facebook a minute to build the audience up. I'm going to go ahead and share this on my fan page this morning as well. And then we'll get ready to get rocking and rolling here shortly. But I'm super excited. Got another phenomenal female entrepreneur. Man, this week of shows has really blessed me, and hopefully it has blessed you guys too. Share to your page, yes. The financial health mentor, yes. Maybe. All right, so it is 1 minute before, and I don't have my water or my Hulk juice this morning. Give me a second, y'all. All right, sorry about that. Wasn't quite prepared this morning. Gotta have my Hulk juice. Man. I mean, let's just go ahead and get this thing started, man, so we can rock and roll. You guys know it is, even though we're wrapping up phenomenal female entrepreneurs, it is still Free Game Fridays. So we're gonna still roll with the show as we normally do. But I have a special guest co-host for Free Game Fridays today. So I'm gonna let you guys see who that is here in a second. So let me go ahead and get the YouTube stream ready. And I'm ready if y'all are ready. Let's do it.
Put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real rappers being real with self. My dad done seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real rappers being real with self. My dad done seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. Money. All you guys is not being wealthy. Like Kanye West said, having money is not everything, not having it is. No, Deuteronomy 8:18 that God gives us the ability to create wealth. No, it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. You don't like money so much, why would you get up and go to work? Everybody does think about all the things that my things have to say. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. It's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. And now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the working class, Mr. RaeJ Cortez.
Good morning, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the working class, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working men and women all over this great nation of ours. It is truly an honor, privilege, and I really do count it a blessing to be able to come to you guys each and every morning and share from my heart what I think are positive and encouraging moments to help you start your day, to help you stay in the grind, in the trenches towards building the legacy and creating the life that you want for you and your family. So I don't take it lightly that you guys tune in each and every morning, and I really, really appreciate it. So we're not going to dilly-dally around this morning because we got a lot of ground to cover. So what I want you to do, if you're checking us out on YouTube and you have not already subscribed to the channel, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you get notifications. I got a campaign that I'm going to kick off today called Project 1000, and you guys want to be tuned in every time I go live and put up another video to kind of help you understand what that campaign is all about. So hit the subscribe button, and then also go ahead and grab the link from YouTube and share it on your favorite social media platform, whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, wherever you like to share links. Then do that for me, because like you, there's probably other people who want to start their day with some positive, encouraging words. So I'd appreciate that. And then do the same thing for me on Facebook. Go ahead and share the stream on your timeline first and foremost. But then also, if you know some female entrepreneurs, if you know some females who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs, females who've been talking about being entrepreneurs for years and yet to pull the trigger, maybe today's show can help them. So just hit, when you hit share, go ahead and invite some people specifically to take a look at or take a listen to what it is that we have going on this morning, because it may very well bless their lives like it has blessed mine tremendously from the inception of the show. But this week in particular, we have some phenomenal women, and we're going to continue that today with my phenomenal female co-host. So before we get into that, you guys know I have to tell you exactly who this show is for. This show is for risers and grinders only, man. If you are not ready to get up and get out and get something, shame on you, man. But if you are, this is your show. If you are serious about the cycle of poverty ending now, if you are serious about the cycle of lack ending, if you're serious about the cycle of poor economic choices ending, then this is your show. Because above all, I know I cover a lot of topics. I really want you to get your money right, because when you get your money right, man, I know people say all the time that money is the root of all evil when they quote that right. But that same book always also says that money answers all things. So got to get your money right. Get money as an issue out of the way so you can stop surviving and start living. And if that's you, this is your show. If you're like me, you're trying to figure out what you can do today, next week, next month, next year to make sure your children's children are proud to bear your name, then this is your show. On the other hand, who is the show not for? Show is not for the pessimist. It's not for the bump on the log. It's not for the lifelong welfare recipient. It's not for those who are not ready to walk out and live out their faith and keep talking about what they believe in, but they never take any action. This show ain't for y'all, man. And I'm not ashamed to say it. So y'all can exit stage left, right? This show is not for the person who has that issue with money. You think money is dirty. Capitalism is a evil word. This ain't for you, man. If you don't realize that you're in a capitalistic society, which means that if you don't know, those who do know will capitalize on you all the days of your life, then this ain't your show, man. If you're sitting back waiting on Donald Trump to fix the economy instead of focusing on your economy, this ain't your show, right? But let me be clear about something. I have no problem with you not wanting to be wealthy. That's your prerogative. I only have a problem with you when you have a problem with me wanting to be wealthy. Don't let my aspirations rub you the wrong way, man. If you're comfortable and content with where you are, cool beans. I'm not. So I'm going after some greater things. So if that's you, this ain't your show. You can tune out and we won't miss you. But like I tell you each and every morning, if you've never seen a future billionaire before, and yes, that is billion with a B, I want you to take a screenshot and then hold me to it and watch me work, because over the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to be amazed at some of the things that me and my team are doing. And you can stand on the sideline, cheer for me, cheer against me, makes me know never mind. But I would advise you to get in the game with me, because there's not a single billionaire on this planet that has not helped others become billionaires or damn near close to it. Mega millionaires, deca millionaires. Just look at Zuckerberg, look at Oprah, look at Bill Gates, look at Trump, look at the Rockefellers, look at all the millionaires and billionaires that came from what they were doing. So you have the opportunity to plug in here as well. Now, without further ado, you guys know it's Free Game Fridays, but this is a special week. Phenomenal female entrepreneurs all week long. So I couldn't cut that off on Thursday and then do Free Game Friday. So what I decided to do is invite a very special co-host who is also a phenomenal entrepreneur female, amongst other things, right? So she's a radio show superstar. She is a TV personality. She is probably the hardest working female in all of St. Louis. So I want you guys to give a warm welcome as I introduce to some and present to others Miss RaeJ, or should I say Lady RaeJ Johnson. How you doing, young lady?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Cortez. I was just so honored that you invited me. Thank you.
You are very welcome. Much deserved, man. I follow your lead, and in 2017, I am probably one of the hardest working people you'll find online. But you are the hardest working person that I know, who really gets out and gets that FaceTime in with a lot of people. And I see you networking, you red carpeted all over the country, all over St. Louis. I'm like, man, here's someone who, like me, doesn't sleep, man. Where does that drive come from, Ray?
Well, I have always been the type of person to promote everybody. And
Hmm.
so it's just the opportunities come because God literally dropped those blessings from heaven in front of me, because I've always been the person to serve. You talked about your wife, her love language is service. And I think
Hmm.
that's mine as well. I identify with her on so many levels. And I've always been in the area of serving others, which brings me joy. I mean, like it's my birthday, but I give you a gift. That's the
Right.
kind of person that I am.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. Well, we're gonna pause right there on your story. Let's go through our Friday recap, because we had some phenomenal women on the show, and you guys know that normally I just recap the shows from Thursday all the way to Monday, and let you know how that goes. But since I have RaeJ here, I'm gonna let her help me recap, and then we're gonna get into RaeJ's story and who she is, and why, as an entrepreneur and as someone who is looking to do big things, you might want to get to know RaeJ a little bit, man. So we'll get to that in a minute. But if you guys were tuning into the show all week, you guys know yesterday we had phenomenal female entrepreneur Ariel Biggs, real estate agent, wealth strategist, and founder of Young Biz Kids, the youth nonprofit organization that teaches entrepreneurship to children. And Ray, you tuned in to every show. So tell me some of your takeaways that you got from that particular female entrepreneur.
Okay, so one of the things that I really like about Ariel is, excuse me, she said that there was a need. She was looking for something for her son, for Mikey. And when she
Hmm.
couldn't find it, she filled it. And I think that
Hmm.
that's one of the things that we don't really think about is if the actual thing that we're looking for does not exist, then we need to make it exist. We need to be the
Exactly.
one to make it happen. So that was a good one. Teaching children early about money. That was real important. My sons are 21 and 24, and they had a conversation when I was jumping on my econ with you, and I
Hmm.
got them involved. And one of their conversations was, we can't remember a time in growing up where we didn't see mom and dad working just to make ends meet. It always seemed to be a struggle. That
Right.
threw me because I never knew as kids that they paid attention to that. So
Wow.
I'm glad that even though we taught them about money, but we were always just making it, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
I'm glad that that's one thing Ariel brought out was about teaching kids early and teaching them to be more than entertainers because as a
Hmm.
culture of people, we are looked at as entertainers only.
Yeah.
And you know, I used to go and talk to elementary school kids in the fourth grade because they would be told they couldn't be anything but an athlete or a cook, little
Right.
boys especially. So
Hmm.
I'm glad that she instilled that. And then one other thing, character building. I
Yeah.
developed a little curriculum about character education because
Hmm.
when the students from high school would come to college, and I was a college counselor, people automatically thought that they were adults because of their age. But you have to
Right.
teach them how to be adults. So the
Hmm.
simple fact that you start with the kids and build that character, it not only turns them into good citizens, it turns them into good business.
Exactly, exactly. So if you guys want to know more about Ariel, she has a cool little real estate app. As a real estate agent, you can find properties in your area if you are looking to buy a home for yourself, or if you're looking to invest. Like I said, buy the block, man. She showed me a house, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, nice neighborhood, less than $10,000. I'm like, wow, that's a good investment piece. So text her your name and email address to 314-443-1346 and just say, hey, Financial Health Mentor says you got a cool real estate app that I like to check out. And text her your email address and she'll get you that free app. It's free to download, free to use. And then if you want to know more about Young Biz Kids, then just go to youngbizkids.org. And kids is spelled with a Z. So Young Biz Kids, KIDZ.org. And that was yesterday's show. Ariel's a good friend. I was actually, I've been in school with her husband since we were like in the fourth grade or something. So I've known him all my life. And then just reconnected because I pulled myself away from a lot of people in my past because I started grinding in my business. And when I reconnected with him and he introduced me to his wife and the things that they were doing, I said, you guys are a good fit for my life right now, man. Let's re-engage as our friend, our rebuild our friendship and start, staying on the same path. And then Wednesday, we had phenomenal female entrepreneur Yvette D. Best, international best-selling author of the book Maximize Your Tax Refund. She's a tax accountant and has been running her own practice for a good number of years now. What were some of the things that you took away from Yvette Best with her southern charm and her strong East Coast accent, right?
Right, right. So Yvette and I are both from New York. Aha. And
Uh-huh.
she stayed longer. How about that? So her
Yeah.
accent is thicker. I love her Bronx accent. One of the things that I love about Yvette, and I had her on my radio show for Ladies Night Wednesday, was that she said being underestimated is what drove her to her success. Um, because people just assume due to her circumstances of being orphaned at the age of
Hmm.
14, losing her parents and then her grandparents, she was on her own. She had no choice but to make it as far as
Right.
she was concerned. But
Hmm.
others felt that this was going to be her demise. So sometimes uh, you have to fight against what the masses think about you. And that was one
Hmm.
of the things that I took away from that. Also, it was trial by fire. I like the way you quoted that trial by fire for her in the face of adversity. She was
Hmm.
ready and willing to beat and go against the odds. The one other thing that struck me is that she said she kept quiet about her business. A lot of times when women are developing a business and they work for someone in, I'll just say, corporate America, you don't want a conflict of interest. And a lot of
Hmm.
times there's a clause that you have to sign saying that you won't do anything that looks like competition. So just to be safe, she was quiet, and she realized that
Uh-oh. Let's see if we can get RaeJ back. You froze up a little bit on me, Ray.
she had to go into an environment entrepreneurship was supported. Can you hear me though?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, am I back?
Yes, you're back. Good deal.
Okay. So she became visible, and I think that was a great thing. People don't know where you are. You have to put yourself in an environment where you can be fostered and visible. So
Right.
if you want people to know what you do and who you are, you got to become visible. And then the final thing that I liked about was the mindset, is that you
Mhm.
have to change your mindset to change your life.
Yeah, and that's so key. I talk about becoming before you do, so you can have. You have to become that person that you need to be to start doing the things that you need to do in order to have the things that you actually want. And so many people miss that. It's like when I
Right,
become a millionaire, I'm going to do things that millionaires do. No, you're not, because you're
right,
never going to become a millionaire. You have to become a millionaire first, mindset wise. Do the activities that those people did to get them to manifest that million, and then you can have what they have. So that was powerful. So if you need a good tax accountant, then definitely check out Yvette Debets, which is her maiden name, but and she gave us that story too. But she's actually Yvette Armstrong on Facebook, or you can go over to our website at bsullc.us. Right. So that was Wednesday. Tuesday we had Sharon Cole from LadyBossMoves.com, and she blew me away with her subtle revolutionary. She didn't want to get super revolutionary on us, but
right.
she let you know where her heart was and where her concern was and is for our community, and why, what's really the underlining principles of what she's all about. So what are some of the takeaways that you got from Sharon?
Oh my gosh, Sharon, I have like pages practically of notes of hers. I couldn't decipher what I wanted to really pull out about her, but I think the main thing was that growing up, she saw her dad and her mother and her grandmother, her father died. They were all working so much. They worked so
Hmm.
much, and they couldn't enjoy the fruit of their labor. And
Yeah.
she did not want that for herself. So what she
Hmm.
ended up doing was learning from that. But one of the things that she learned too is she got all this education, and it
Yeah.
seemed like it made
Yeah.
matters worse. And I understood and identified with that. But one thing that she did say is she was given some books, and two of the books, I think one of our members that's on here now missed the name of the book, so I have those for you. Smart Money Moves was one
Hmm.
of the books that a client gave to her, a customer. And then the
Yeah.
second one was Think and Grow Rich. So Smart Money Moves, and then the second book, Think and Grow Rich. And
Hmm.
the time that one of the things that was really big for me is time is a commodity. It's one of those things you cannot get back once you
Right.
spent it. And she saw that her folks spent a lot of time working and they couldn't get that back. And she wanted to be with her kids. She wanted to be able to enjoy her life. So you have to really manage your time well. The
Hmm.
other thing is you got to find the right niche. As women, we take care of so many things that we
Hmm.
go all over the place. But you've got to find the right niche, something that you could be passionate about and build upon so that you can build your own brand instead of helping others develop their brand. You have to learn to say no. Everybody can't always have you on their bandwagon. You got to be
Hmm.
selective on what you support. And like
Right.
Robbie Montgomery said, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. So
Exactly.
you gotta make sure that it's in your plan though, and then get a coach. sometimes women are afraid to ask for help because we're always used to being in a position of helping. And
Mhm.
I think when it comes to business, there are some of us that need to learn a little bit more about business management. Conducting business and managing business are two different things. And
Exactly.
sometimes you have to get a coach to teach you how to manage your business so that you can monetize your talent.
Exactly. And she's all about, guys, ladies understanding how to take those passions, turn them into profitable enterprises so that you can escape the 9 to 5 if you so choose, not trying to put any pressure on anybody who love their job. Most people are doing jobs that they can't stand but have to stomach because they got to pay bills. Well, if that's you, then Sharon can help you develop a game plan that will give you an exit strategy by monetizing things that you are passionate about, things that you're doing all day, every day anyway. You're just not making income from it. So go to ladybossmoves.com. Ladybossmoves.com. Tell her the financial health mentor sent you, and Sharon will help you out. And I'll just give you a little insight. Hadn't known Sharon much. She had checked out a couple of the live streams, and we connected um, through my fan page. And then when she told me who her mentor was, then I knew she was a good fit for the show because Markwell Russell is that dude when it comes to online marketing and teaching people how to monetize their passions. So when she said that, I was like, yeah, we gonna work together. So again, having a mentor. Had she not had a mentor and she didn't tell me Markwell was her mentor, then we probably wouldn't have connected on the level that we have. So ladybossmoves.com. She's always all about helping the modern day busy mom get control of your life and your time. And then we kick the show off with my girl. This is our second time on my show. I don't know if you guys remember from the very beginning, probably episode 18 or 19 or something, I did a show called Faith and Finances. Faith and Finances with Miss Clarissa Pace. And she dropped some bombs in. At that time, the show was only 30 minutes, so it went really fast. So I was super excited when she was free to do the show, and I knew I had a full hour with her. I'm like, yes, I couldn't think of a better person to kick off the show. So, what were some of your takeaways from Miss Clarissa Pace at Chicana Services LLC? Don't start Facebook. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Say it again.
Okay, I said that yes, Clarissa Pace was something else.
Yeah.
I really did love her. Starting off the week, everybody, came up to her. She set the pace, she set the tone. Clarissa, one of the things that I liked about her is that she said she fought the vision, and a lot of times we do fight that vision that God has placed before us. Um, she had to say yes to it, and she had to figure out exactly what it was. So she stayed connected to her prayer life in order to be guided and navigated the right way. She got laid off, and I like the fact that she got laid off because it was that push. Sometimes you got to have a fire lit under you, and you stay in your safety zone. So she had to get laid off in order to jump off into what it was that was purposed for her life.
Right.
And she had
Oh, wait a minute. Say that again, Ray.
that was able
You say that
to
again. You chopped
support.
up on me.
So, okay, it was Yvette Armstrong that said, your job is your investor.
Mm-hmm.
And Clarissa had several little jobs. So when she got laid off, she still had something to sustain her so she could do what she wanted to do. And then being respected as a woman, that story that she told, being in a small town in Arkansas, if your mother wasn't a maid or your father
Mm-hmm.
wasn't some, handyman kind of person, that you really weren't respected. People didn't know in her town that, oh, you all exist as black people and you do stuff, you know. So women need to feel respected and supported, because when you don't have the support of your significant other, your spouse, or what have you, it makes it just that much difficult. But she said she was rejected, and rejection and failure became her best friend, not loneliness and depressed. Okay.
Right.
So that was that push. And she said, we as women birth things into existence through pain, and we can push past the pain to be successful, but we got to support one another. And the common denominator among all of them was that they had a strong belief and faith in God. And so I've not seen an unsuccessful entrepreneur that did not have a strong faith in God.
Yeah, and that's powerful, and that's why, because I I was at an event when I met Clarissa the first time, and she actually kicked off the Sunday morning session of that event with a prayer, and then she had about 10 minutes to go into some of her daily practices and things, and I was like, wow. So I instantly did an interview with her after that event, and then invited her to the show, and then I had to have her back because, I mean, faith, you guys know I talk about belief in the cycle of success, right? It starts with when your actions are determined by what and how you believe. If you believe you can do great things, then you're going to try and you're going to put forth the action to make those great things manifest. When you take those actions, it's going to lead to results. When you learn how to properly analyze those results, it's going to lead to you taking, it's going to lead to your belief growing even more. And when your belief gets bigger, the actions that you take get bigger and bolder, and you get bigger and bolder results. And that's a cycle of continued success. On the other hand, if, like some of the women mentioned, that the reason that some women don't get into entrepreneurship is because they're stuck in a cycle of disbelief and self-doubt. When you don't believe, you don't take action. When you don't take action, you don't get results. Because you don't get results, that feeds your self-doubt and disbelief. So that's a negative cycle that continues to go. So you're absolutely right, Ray. All of them were powerful in their faith in God and their belief in themselves to push past all of the naysayers. A lot of them said they had to separate themselves from the associations that just didn't jive with them aspiring to be entrepreneurs. Not that they cut people out of their lives, but they said, hey, this group is my entrepreneur set of friends. This group is my regular friends. So when I hang out with them, I don't talk about my dreams and my goals. I just, shoot the breeze. When I hang out over here, now I can talk about my dreams and goals because they can support me. They can better understand. They can recommend resources, and I can keep growing in this lane. So that was our Monday through Friday. And also, I forgot, check out Clarissa Pace at her website, ShekinahServices.com. ShekinAH services.com. Yes, I had to look that up. I would have never guessed how to spell that. ShekinahServices.com. And she talked about what that really means. It's this the Shekinah glory of God, where God led the children of Israel by fire at night, and I forgot what he was leading them, the cloud by day and by fire by night. So, and that just speaks to her faith that's what she was thinking when she named her book, our company. And then we had two authors on. So Clarissa's book is Financial Transformation 101. You can pick it up paperback, Amazon, and then Yvette Best. You can go to eBay to pick up the hard copy. Just search Maximizing Your Tax Refund. Or if you got Kindle or use the Kindle app, you can go to Amazon.com and grab the Kindle book. So now, Miss Young Lady, you've helped me recap the week. Let's talk about who the heck is Lady RaeJ. So tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your story, and why TV, entertainment, radio, and that sort of thing. So this is your time. So tell us a little bit about who the heck is Lady RaeJ.
What you say? Hawko, who that woman? Oh man, where do I start? Well, I'm going to start with the radio. So I was a academic advisor, career counselor in the college realm, higher education. I was introduced to Bernie Hayes when he and I worked together at the University of Missouri St. Louis, known in St. Louis as UMSL. And when I was leaving to go to Harris-Stowe State University, at that time it was a state college, to be assistant director of financial aid, um, Bernie told me, when you go and you know that there are other young men and women like yourself that want to be in broadcasting, send them to me. Because he had watched me grow through my college years. And Bernie Hayes is iconic here in St. Louis as a broadcaster, really across the country as a broadcaster. He has been with some very talented celebrities and greats. So I looked to him for my training. Never thought I would ever be in broadcasting in any form of media at all. And I met this gentleman that was introduced to us by a friend we have in common named Dallas. Dallas came to me looking for opportunity, and as an academic advisor, I introduced him to Bernie. Um, he came back to me some years later. Now, this, mind you, was in the, 89. So it was the late 80s, that 87, 89. And in 2011, see, this thing had been
Oh, you chopped out on me, Ray. Might have to
developing
repeat that.
all the time. I had no idea. Okay, am I back?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
I did not know during the time that I was counseling, God was developing me to be out in front of people. I was the behind the scenes and pushing the students into their career. So my service was servicing them. And 2011, now we're talking about from 1989 to 2011, it took that time. And I was approached by Dallas. And he said, hey, you mentioned to me about starting my own radio show again. Dallas had been in radio for 20 plus years. And he said, I want you to be my co host. That was my first introduction to radio in 2011. And it has just springboarded into television and more radio programming ever since.
Wow, wow, and I like that, from behind the scenes to now being one of the four persons in the media industry locally, and that has springboarded into some national opportunities, which we'll get into in a second. But it's funny that you said, from '89 and then all the way to 2011. I can't do math that quick, but that was some years. And then all of a sudden, you realize that there's a connection still there, and something drew you back to it. What made you say yes? I mean, from that conversation years ago to 2011, what made you say yes to yeah, I'll do that?
Well, see, once again, it's that service. I saw someone that needed assisting. That's the way I had it in my head. I'm going to assist him in his career. So, being a career counselor, being an academic advisor, being an education counselor, I saw that as my duty.
Hmm.
He got what versus what I needed. And I was not initially supported. I was not supported in that. There was turmoil in my marital relationship. And it seemed like the further along I went, the more traumatic the relationship got. And that was a good distraction for me to be in radio, to where Tony Claire, who was my producer at WGNU, told me, you're a producer. you are a producer. And I didn't get the definition of producer. As far as I was concerned, I was just supporting and getting it done. But he
Mm-hmm.
said,
Y'all say that again.
you're a producer. So once he planted WGNU, told me that I was a producer. And I didn't see that definition until he explained it. I took that and I ran with it. And I've been producing shows ever since. And it went into television. People started noticing us. And I started doing a media platform and understanding Facebook more. I'm a pen and paper person. I wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
digital person. So I had to start learning how to do that. And Facebook was that platform that I really started learning and navigating as I started producing. And so now I'm
Mm-hmm.
producing television shows, reality shows, radio programming, and it's just climbing. And I'm in 2 movies and a
Yes.
music video. And I'm just like, what? And so the recent proposal this week was for me
Mhm.
to do my own reality TV show, being the
Wow.
star of the,
Wow.
yeah,
That is phenomenal. And this is what happens when you allow yourself to be led and sticking to what you do. Like you said, it was all about service, and you saw your way to continue to serve on a broader scale through media. And
right.
then you didn't allow fear of, okay, I'm the behind the scenes girl. I don't want to be out front. And that could have tripped a lot of people up. What was your thought process as you were making that transition?
Well, one of the things is that I've always been extroverted. I have always been extroverted. I've always been creative. I used to do interior design. I sing. I
Mhm.
dance. I've been performing since I was 3. Um,
Okay.
I said, what? I'm a private dancer? What? My folks used to, I'm from Staten Island, New York, and we were in Jersey City, New Jersey, and we had a little storefront. And my mother and my father taught me business then. So I've
Mhm.
always seen my folks being enterprising,
Right.
and doing something. And so one of the police officers that would frequent the store would come in and he would say, hey, my real name, you guys, is Renee. So they call me Nene. Hey, Nene, come and do a little dance with me. And my mother said, for a fee. So I would get a quarter and I would dance. And when Tina Turner came up with that song, Private Dancer, it struck
Mhm.
me that I had been a private dancer since I was a baby practically. But what it taught me was there's value in what you do. No matter what you do, there's value in it, and monetize that. So my mom always said, for a fee, you know.
Right.
And so
Right.
I had to start learning that. But I was so into making everybody happy by being
Mhm.
there and doing things that the monetization did not always
Mhm.
click in with me. But
Right.
you are valuable and what you do is worth something. And you have to learn to put a value on it or others won't value you.
Exactly. And that's where a lot of people struggle is pricing their services and pricing their value and the things that they bring to the table. Trust and believe if what you brought to the table had no value, you wouldn't have been invited to the table in the first place. So it's okay to add a price to that value because they're going to go and pay somebody else. It's kind of like the old hookup thing. We talked about this earlier this week. A lot of women dealt with people wanting to hook up when they got their own thing going. It's like, no, if I love you and I'm trying to support you, why would I want to shortchange you, which will ultimately shortchange your children, who I should also know and love, and we're good friends. So why would I want to take food off their table, off their plate, by not paying you fully what you're worth and always looking for a doggone discount. No, when you patronize friends and family, you should be giving them tips, not asking for discounts.
That's exactly right. And, like you said, everybody wants to hook up. And being in business, you would think that the best support would come from your family and close friends. I have learned to make those individuals last because people are bandwagoners. And once you get someone else to invest in you because they like you and they like what you bring, they trust you, and you've established and nurtured that relationship, then other people want to have a piece of the rock too. They want a
Hmm.
piece of the action too. And then that's when you'll find your intimate friends and family saying, "You didn't tell me that. How come you didn't
Hmm.
tell me that?
Right.
When did you
Right.
do that?" Yeah, so yeah, I like it like that because I've always gone to intimate friends and family, and they'll support you, but they won't do anything. So
Right.
you can't let that discourage.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly right.
For real.
Ray. Yeah, that's exactly right. And really quickly, I know this may be a little touchy for you, but I want people to know how much of an overcomer you are, because when I realize what you've overcome and see all that you do, I'm amazed every time I think about it. So you are a 4 year cancer survivor, right? Is it four
Correct.
years?
Yes.
4 year
Yes.
cancer survivor who, as a result of a lot of the treatments that you had to go through, led to, not surprisingly, some other ailments, right? When you went through chemo, you came out on the other side with diabetic and rheumatoid arthritis and all that kind of stuff, which is so typical of modern medicine, right? You go in to get one thing fixed and you come out with three, four other things. But talk about your struggle to overcome that, and I wouldn't even say it's a struggle because you completely overcome. But while you were overcoming, you didn't let that slow you down.
No, and one of the things that also happened during that time, like I said, we in my marriage we were having problems anyway. It was like the higher I climbed, the worse the relationship got. And
Hmm.
as far as I was concerned, I'm pulling you with me. We are together in this. But when
Hmm.
people are caught up in their own stuff,
Hmm.
they make it your stuff too,
Right.
and you can't let that happen. So as I got sick with stage 3 breast cancer, by the time they detected it, and I had been 8 months out of a mammogram that detected nothing, and then
Hmm.
suddenly I had stage 3 breast cancer that spread to my lymph nodes.
Right.
So they had to do an aggressive form of chemotherapy and radiation, and my, as I call him now, husband decided not to pay the mortgage. I lost my home and was homeless while I was sick. So I
Wow.
had to try to find shelter since I worked with women of domestic violence. I knew I couldn't do that. My employer at the time no longer wanted me there, but could not get rid of me because the American Disabilities Act protected that aspect of
Hmm.
my job. Um, I was told pretty much at the same time, I no longer want this marriage. And my employer said, I no longer want you as an employee. But because they
Wow.
could not fire me, I still had something. And I had no choice but to make it. I refused to be beat.
Uh-oh. Say that part one
So
more
I
time. Say
was
that part one more time.
determined. Which
You
part did
refuse
you
to be
miss?
beat. You
I
refuse to be
refused to be
beat.
I refused to be beaten by the odds, and so
Mhm.
I wanted to beat the odds instead of allowing the odds to beat me. And
Gotcha.
just like the other women from this week, my faith in God grew. I was
Mhm.
taken in by Dallas. Dallas said, "You come to my house. You are not homeless. You have an address." So I ended up, me and my youngest son, my oldest was in college in Michigan. So he stayed there. But our family was displaced. And
Right.
as a result, I was in the book of Job. I knew I was going to come out victorious. I had
Right.
the end in mind. And I
Hmm.
worked at that in marketing. And God just put that vision in front of me to let me see who I needed to get rid of and who I needed to
Hmm.
keep. And I'm
Right.
telling you, the more successful I became, the smaller my circle got. So it got
Right.
like this. Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Can you see me now? Can you see me now?
and and
So
there's nothing
that's
wrong with
what
that.
happened.
Yeah, there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with it. I tell people all the time, it's okay to redraw your circle, right? Because I was that way too.
exactly.
I'm so free hearted that I'm drawing this big old gigantic circle because I want to include everybody,
Right,
right? But as I
right.
matured and started to focus on what I really want out of life and not what everybody wanted for me, then I realized that my circle had to get smaller. But I
Yes,
posted a meme on my page that sometimes when you reduce the size of your circle, becomes more valuable.
exactly.
And I think that's what happened with me. So you not only had to overcome the physical trauma, then you had the added emotional stress of ending a marriage, being displaced, playing with your money on your job, and all of that stuff. And yet you still stand. So I just want to say I'm proud of you for fighting through that. And because here's the deal, nobody would fault you if that had broken you, right? Nobody would fault you because that's something tough to stand up through and come out well on the other side. But I think there are millions of women like you who are not being celebrated for that fight and being able to withstand and come through. So, man, I just love that story. So we are 10 minutes before the top of the hour. I know you got a lot of stuff going on. So for the people who are locally, let's talk about some of the things you got going on. I know you have a big event coming up next month. You guys doing casting calls for a lot of different stuff. So I'm gonna let you have the floor and promote everything that you guys got going on, um, because we want it to be a massive success so that you can continue down your path of phenomenal female entrepreneurship.
Well, thank you so much for the floor on that one, Ted. Yes, on February, well, let me start with this month. So, January the 21st, which is Saturday tomorrow, we have casting calls that is taking place at JC Supper Club. Antonio Holland is a movie producer, writer, director. And the story he's doing here in St. Louis has to do with the company ABB. A few years
Mhm.
back, there was a tragic murder that took place. There was some extortion that took place, and he's turning this real life situation into a movie called City's Biggest Heist. So at 9053 Riverview Drive, JC Supper Club, we will be there for a club scene. We need 25 men and women to come out, all ages. You have to, well, I can't say all ages, so you at least have to be 21 because it is in a club and it is around alcohol. So for legal reasons, you have to be at least 20. My co-host, show host, Dallas Jameson, and it is our television show Around Town with Dallas and RaeJ, live TV taping, and we are having what's called a Code Red Mixer for couples and singles. We have a show segment on our Discussions with Dallas Live with RaeJ radio show every Monday called It's Complicated. And Dr. G. Davis is from Orlando, Florida. He is a relationship rehab coach, and we talk about men and women and our relationships with one another every Monday. So he's going to be co-hosting a event at our Code Red Mixer called Fast, Fun, and Furious Speed Dating. So we want to find out what the singles are doing in St. Louis and connect these people and see if there is a real love connection. So it's just about to be fun, and to be in a safe environment and to mix and mingle with everybody. That is also going to present an opportunity for vendors, of which Cortez is one. The vendors, we're charging a fee of $45 for your table. We've got desserts out the jar. We got Tammy Hinkle Davis, who is coming with her hair care line. Robbie Owens, who is Big Mama Pickles and Treats. She's coming. Cortez is going to be there.
Yes.
We've got so many people that are jumping on board for this opportunity to be on our live television show taping that we are uploading to our YouTube channel we're starting. So we were locally on ABC 30. We had a flood that happened back in August while we were in Atlanta doing a red carpet event. Dallas and I learned that all of the equipment in the studio, the computers, the cameras, everything were destroyed in the flood. And so it was devastating to say the least, but we weren't able to return to television right away. So we decided to do everything YouTube. We got
The added emotional stress of ending a marriage, being displaced, playing with your money on your job, and all of that stuff, and yet you still stand. So I just want to say I'm proud of you for fighting through that. And because here's the deal: nobody would fault you if that had broken you, right? Nobody would fault you because that's something tough to stand up through and come out well on the other side. But I think there are millions of women like you who are not being celebrated for that fight and being able to withstand and come through. So, man, I just love that story. So we are 10 minutes before the top of the hour. I know you got a lot of stuff going on. So for the people who are locally, let's talk about some of the things that you got going on. I know you have a big event coming up next month. You guys doing casting calls for a lot of different stuff. So I'm gonna let you have the floor and promote everything that you guys got going on, because we want it to be a massive success so that you can continue down your path of phenomenal female entrepreneurship.
Well, thank you so much for the floor on that one, Ted. Yes, on February, well, let me start with this month. So January the 21st, which is Saturday tomorrow, we have casting calls that is taking place at JC Supper Club. Antonio Holland is a movie producer, writer, director. And the story he's doing here in St. Louis has to do with the company ABB. A few years back, there was a tragic murder that took place. There was some extortion that took place. And he's turning this real life situation into a movie called City's Biggest Heist. So at 9053 Riverview Drive, JC Supper Club, we will be there for a club scene. We need 25 men and women to come out, all ages. You have to, well, I can't say all ages, so you at least have to be 21 because it is in a club and it is around alcohol. So for legal reasons, you have to be at least 20. My co-host, show host, Dallas Jameson, and it is our television show Around Town with Dallas and RaeJ, live TV taping, and we are having what's called a Code Red Mixer for couples and singles. We have a show segment on our Discussions with Dallas Live with RaeJ radio show every Monday called It's Complicated. And Dr. G. Davis is from Orlando, Florida. He is a relationship rehab coach, and we talk about men and women and our relationships with one another every Monday. So he's going to be co-hosting a event at our Code Red Mixer called Fast, Fun, and Furious Speed Dating. So we want to find out what the singles are doing in St. Louis and connect these people and see if there is a real love connection. So it's just about to be fun, and to be in a safe environment and to mix and mingle with everybody. That is also going to present an opportunity for vendors, of which Cortez is one. The vendors, we're charging a fee of $45 for your table. We've got desserts out the jar. We got Tammy Hinkle Davis, who is coming with her hair care line. Robbie Owens, who is Big Mama Pickles and Treats. She's coming. Cortez is going to be there.
Yes.
We've got so many people that are jumping on board for this opportunity to be on our live television show taping that we are uploading to our YouTube channel we're starting. So we were locally on ABC 30. We had a flood that happened back in August while we were in Atlanta doing a red carpet event. Dallas and I learned that all of the equipment in the studio, the computers, the cameras, everything were destroyed in the flood. And so it was devastating to say the least, but we weren't able to return to television right away. So we decided to do everything YouTube. We got some of our equipment replaced, and we're moving forward with that. In March, I will be in Las Vegas. Dallas and I have been cast in a movie. So that movie is called Get Up Joe. It is scheduled to premiere in July, so I'll keep you guys posted about that.
Awesome.
So, yeah, a lot of stuff going on in TV and radio. I am producing 3 shows. Discussions with Dallas Live with RaeJ is Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Ferguson, USA, HotTalkRadio.com. And then the Easy Treatment Lounge is our Quiet Storm show, 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. Same chill time, same chill station. Ferguson, USA, HotTalkRadio.com. And then I am introducing in February my own jazz radio show called Brown Sugar Sunday. And it will be on 4 to 6 p.m. at Ferguson, USA, HotTalkRadio.com.
Man, that is amazing. I told you guys, she is the hardest working person I know in St. Louis, literally all over the place. I'm not talking about figuratively, I'm literally all over the place. Wherever there's something going down, RaeJ is there, and I so appreciate that. But really quickly, I want you to talk briefly about the importance of networking, because you are one of the best at it that I've ever seen. Why is that so important for success as female entrepreneurs? And how, as females, do you keep the line business, and not separate the sleazeballs who say they want to network, but they really want to network, right?
Well, real quickly before I jump into that, I just want to mention one of the things that I've also brought you on the journey with me is my weight loss and the blogging that I did for that. And that came by way of networking. So I saw a television program on Great Day St. Louis. I've appeared on KTVI. I've been on Channel 4 on CBS for, various things. But CBS, I was on Great Day St. Louis for the weight loss with Dr. Brian Deloney. I networked with him. And he found me a sponsor. As a result of him finding me a sponsor, I started advertising for him. He offered me an opportunity to appear on TV with him. So a couple of weeks ago, we were on, and it's just been taking off after that. I've got people to go to check out his program. I was so sick behind all of the treatment. My metabolic age was 90. So my life expectancy was ending. And in 2 months' time, I turned that around. A1C, for those that know about diabetes, it was 14%. I was dying. I am now at 6.3% because of Simply Health Nutrimost. Dr. Brian Deloney and the team in Chesterfield, Missouri If you're interested, inbox me and I can give you the details about that. But I have always been a networker, Tez. I have always seen, and I think it's just a gift that God has given me to see things come together. They've manifested themselves on your show. There will
Yeah.
be someone that asks, I'm starting a business or I have a name, but I don't know how to get it out there. All of a sudden, stuff will start clicking in my head. And then I'll type it in. And you said, look at that, RaeJ just gave you something. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sherry Sweet is on here, and her name speaks. And I said, Sweet Sherry. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's that these people. So I'm a talker and I'm a
Mm-hmm.
salesperson. And I've always been selling concepts and ideas. And so
Right.
I think that that's just a gift that God has given me. I don't think about it, it just happens. But it's so
Gotcha.
important for us to cooperate and collaborate and not always be in the spirit of competition because
Mm-hmm.
you can
Mm-hmm.
do more when you do it together. In the movie Soul Food, the original movie, Mama Joe said that with an open hand, it's
Mm-hmm.
powerful. It hurts. But when you put those fingers together and make a fist, it
Yes.
strikes a mighty blow. And when
Exactly.
we come together like this and not like this, then we've got more power and more impact. And that
Mm-hmm.
is the reason why I think women need to support one another. And the struggle, the fighting, the cattiness, that's never been me. And I don't like to see it. But you also have to gauge when people are just wanting to ride your coattails.
Right.
And you have to be
Right.
smart about analyzing a situation. That's why I said don't be so quick to jump on everybody's bandwagon. Sit back.
Mm-hmm.
Don't always feel like your answer has to be immediate. And just let people know, let me think about it. Let me get back with you. Let's come up with a
Mm-hmm.
time that we can sit down and talk a little bit more in detail. And then really think about it. Someone approached me recently about being on a grant with them. And the way that they addressed me was very curt and short
Mm-hmm.
tempered. And I didn't even know this person. I was referred. But I knew then, you know what, this is not a good fit. Even though it
Right.
has something to do with radio, it's going to take me away from what I'm doing. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to respectfully decline. And you can
Right.
just respectfully decline. So, women, we have got to learn that we can't help everybody. We can't say that doesn't always mean that you have to do stuff with the person. You might refer them to another person that will best
Mm-hmm.
suit their needs.
Right. Well, we are at the top of the hour, Ray. It has been an honor, privilege, and a pleasure just knowing you, and we've done some work together, and I'm excited about the things that we're going to be able to do as we continue to move forward into 2017. Happy belated birthday on air. Yesterday was your birthday. So we want to say happy belated birthday to you. I know you're going to celebrate a little bit this weekend as well. But guys, if you are in the St. Louis market and you want a good place to advertise, rates are reasonable to advertise with RaeJ on her show and a lot of the platforms that she has. So reach out to her to get your brand out there. Less than $100, you can be an interview, a guest on her show where she would literally put you out there for 2 hours during one of her shows, and that's a great way to market. I was able to market and sell some books for being on her show and expand my reach here in the local St. Louis area. So definitely reach out to Ray for all of that kind of stuff. So with that, this brings to a close in a bittersweet fashion the phenomenal Female Entrepreneurs Week, guys. We're probably gonna have to do this every quarter. I mean, because I can't go
That's
more
what
than
I
2 or 3 months without hearing from the ladies, man. That's just, I mean, we got to. Like I said, this world is out of balance with too much masculine energy, not enough feminine energy, and that's why we're in the shape that we're in collectively as a society, globally, not just in the U.S. but globally. So hopefully this broadens the horizon of people in taking a look at how entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, can really impact and shape the world and get us on the right track. So I'm your main man, H. Cortez. That's my co-host, RaeJ, Lady RaeJ Johnson. And you're checking out Talking Money in the Morning Live. So until I talk to you guys next week, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it.
absolutely can do it.